Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Yo, let's get it go up there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on and back again to the Sports Buffoon Studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas, of course. Here coming right back at you. We got the full clan with you today. JG to my right and Tanner Dawson, well, even further over, I guess, on the screen anyway, to the other further right. So, what's going on, fellas? Coming off the Super Bowl week. What'd you guys think of that game on Sunday, man? Did you guys enjoy it?
I ate a lot of food, man. I ate a lot of food. Probably gonna have to go on a diet after all, because that's why it's one of the biggest. Like if you're a grocery store, that's one of the biggest selling days of the year is Super Bowl, and all that. That's all people do. They don't care about the game necessarily, but they just fill their face and get fat.
Well,
so.
There was a lot of drinks to be had, I would say, and a lot of food to be had. And hey, at least next year, I don't know, you guys don't have President's Day off. But next year, for at least some of the country, it'll be a built-in day off after the Super Bowl. But anyways, Tanner, how was your weekend?
It was good. It's good. I enjoyed being off and pizza on Thursday. It wasn't quite the weekend yet, but yeah, it was a good concert you and I went to. Solid performers on Thursday. So, but
Tanner,
Super Bowl wise. That was a good time.
Tanner, is it true that you were double fisted with the pizza slices? Because that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
One in both hands.
I don't think that ever happened.
He was doing what's that Trump dance that he does? Where it's like this. You know, it's kind of like the wabash, but with pizza.
Oh, no, that did not happen. The pizza did not get
false
finished.
Allegations. Either. Okay,
so
false allegations according to Tanner. So.
What was it? What's it called? Fake news. Fake news.
Oh, that's fake news. So then, what'd you do for the Super Bowl, Tanner?
We live streamed on the Rec Room Sports Hub. So we did a live stream with Alan Perales and live streamed throughout the game, kind of talking, just about it and sitting here and just enjoying the game. So
yeah.
No, I
kept it pretty
low
key as well. I mean, the Chiefs weren't in it, so to me, I went out to Brewbaker's right down the road and hung out there till halftime, basically, and then went and finished the rest of the game at my place. Speaking of that, so guys, what was your favorite part of halftime? And did you tune in to Kid Rock's halftime?
No, I did not.
That's a no for Kid Rock. Now, what'd you think of Bad Bunny? No. Was he good?
Oh my God, the presentation was awesome. For Bad Bunny, I loved it. I think they really did really well for the Bad Bunny's halftime.
It looked like fun, yeah.
It did.
What about you?
I mean, Bad Bunny was amazing, but I'm a little bit biased because like I'm one of the few people on earth that actually knew who the hell he was and listened to his stuff like before he came on the Super Bowl halftime performance. So, I thought I enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah, I thought the choreography of it all was pretty good. So put it that way. Obviously, it's not like my kind of music. Neither is Kid Rock or anything else that I was going on at the time either. But it was still all right. And I got to watch most of it, I would say. So no, it was good. It was good.
That was a good halftime show. It was Lady Gaga coming out, which was awesome to see. For that, and just I don't know, it was just good entertainment. It was good presentation, and I don't know, it was presented really well and well done. So,
all right. So the big question, I'm sure you guys at work have talked about it a little bit with coworkers, but did anyone fall asleep in the first half? And was that the most boring first half you guys have seen since last year when the Chiefs got blown out in the first half?
I mean, I honestly, I wasn't watching the whole time. I didn't really care that much. We're so spoiled as Chiefs fans that I've gotten to the point now where it's like, if I miss a couple of plays here and there just to go get some nachos or some pizza, as Tanner would say, that I don't care. I can miss a few plays. I can miss a few commercials. Like, who really cares? I was just, trying to enjoy the evening and not get too sucked into the game, honestly.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that topic come up yet, Mike, about sleeping in the first half. Did not hear that topic come up.
Well, I mean, from my experience, we talking to people at work. I mean, I think they all kind of agreed it was somewhat of a boring game, and I felt the same way. And I kind of expected it to be that way. I mean, I picked the under in this game for a reason, and it did hit, by the way. But it was mainly due to the fact that there wasn't quite enough star power on the Patriots' end of things for them to make explosive plays, and that's why they got locked down. And not enough playmakers.
Oh man. I had the over 7.5 punts plus over 2.5 punt returns on the bets. And so I was just I was wide awake. I loved every minute of it. And we hit the 8 punt mark just the beginning of the second quarter, I believe it was, or mid second quarter. And the return mark shortly followed after that, 8th punt. So I got to hit both my punt bets pretty early in the first half, and maybe that saved me. We all expected a really low scoring first half. To me, it was a great defensive showing, and that's what football's about. For the casual fan, it was a snooze fest, as it should be. But this was what football is about. Seeing the defensive side, not just scoring.
Yeah, I did feel like a lot of it was just the Seahawks defense was that good all year long. And so we got to see them showcase themselves in the way we knew they would. Another end of it, obviously, is that Drake May has had a horrible postseason and still got to this point, and it continued to be the same against the Seahawks. So for him, it looked like a whole different person out there for the playoffs. So it was unfortunate to see because I just expected him to play at a little higher level. But
think about it, man. The guy came through 3 of the top 5 defenses in the playoffs.
No, Tanner, don't even get into that crap.
What are you talking about? You don't need to play at a high level.
Through against the Broncos in that snow game. Are you kidding me? He didn't do a damn thing. Tanner,
that's what I'm saying.
Tell me Drake May came through in those games. He was horrible.
No, I didn't. I didn't say Drake May came through. I said he had to play in the playoffs, including the Super Bowl, 3 of the top 5 defenses.
Right.
Like, of course he's going to look horrendous. Of course he's not going to look like
a bum
what he was all
quarterback
regular.
I'm not going to give him that excuse. If you want to give him an excuse, just say that he's too freaking young to be in that moment, man. For a quarterback, you got to get some experience before you're ready for that.
The offense got exposed.
He's too young, man. He's got a long way to go.
The offense got exposed. The offensive line got exposed in the last 3 games for the Patriots.
Tanner, how much money did you put on? How much money did you put on that punting bet that you were talking about?
I had a $10 free bet I threw on there.
Oh, that's it.
So,
I thought you would throw your life savings on that one.
Yeah, I want to throw my life savings on
some punts.
Yeah.
I made $200 on roulette the other day.
That's good. I know you've been killing it on those. So,
right.
But no, the message all day Sunday to people was bet within your means. Not throw your mortgage on it. So
now you could do that too, though, because if you win, then you can pay off next month's mortgage early.
Yeah, but if you lose,
well, you can bet a little bit more.
If you lose, you just rebuy back in, Tanner. That's all you got to do.
You can bet
rebuy back in.
You can bet a little bit more. Tanner, you can bet a little bit more than you're typically comfortable with if you follow our easy money bet of the week segment. That's when you want to throw down big money.
Yeah.
Just this past week.
Well,
this
past week.
Unless you're listening to my bets from last year or Mike's bets from this year, I think you'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this year, luckily, easy money bets are over until next football season, so we'll get back into it then. But as a group, it was rough, but JG did have the best of the 3 of us. So I was.
Do you guys do any live betting for the Super Bowl?
No, I stuck with my under, and then Cooper Kupp to go over 33.5 yards receiving. Those both easily hit. I mean, the under actually was kind of scary towards the end, but for the most part, it was pretty easy to hit those.
Nice.
No, I didn't do any bets at all, man. I had a long weekend, and I was not in the mood for betting.
Yeah, I did a live bet just before halftime for a third quarter Seattle field goal on their next drive, hit that, and then I just bet the MVPs as they went. Caught Kenneth Walker before his his one of his big runs, and that went from plus 350 is where I got it. It was already down to minus 175 before right after that instance. So there was a lot of watching lines and really kind of estimating there, but had it well covered there from an MVP standpoint.
Nice.
But it was a good game.
Guys, I guess the good news is now that that's over with, that we can officially, every team can start looking forward to next year, which means everything they do in these next 3 months is going to impact the way teams fall coming up next December or January and February. This is the building time of year coming up in the NFL when it comes to free agency starting in March. And of course, you have the draft in late April. And really it goes until, throughout May and OTAs and development and stuff like that. But really the acquisitions and the moves that are made here coming up the next, month, really, month to 2 months is going to be what makes or breaks a lot of teams for next year. So as we know, the Chiefs have a lot of work to do, but picking number 9 overall, at least gives us a good opportunity to get some quality players. So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited about the draft, really. And I haven't been as excited about the draft the last few years, just because we always pick in the late 20s or 30s, and to have a top 10 pick is going to make it a lot more fun to work with. So, speaking of that, you guys want to dive into some prospects for a few minutes here?
Let's do
it.
All right. So, just to let everyone out there listening know, I kind of have a plan here for the next 6 shows in a row here. What we're going to do is break down a few potential Chiefs draft prospects on my board, or players who I either like or dislike for one reason or the other. But these are going to be players who at least have a chance to end up becoming Kansas City Chiefs one way or the other, whether it's through draft value by position or best overall pick at number 9 overall. So the 3 guys I want to talk about today, I want to kick it off with Peter Woods, actually, from Clemson. He's someone that one of our listeners wanted to talk about a little bit the other week when we were on, and I was kind of telling him we had to give us some time. Now, keep this in mind, the NFL Combine has not happened yet, which I think is a nice 5% tool to kind of round off your completion of evaluating prospects. Like, what I mean by that is it finally you could put a number to everything on a player, even though you've done all your work on tape and evaluating that way. Just to throw it out there, it's not there yet, so things can change over time. But with Peter Woods, I mean, for me, I did spend a lot of time in 2024 with him, actually, and there was some issues there that I did see right off the bat that I didn't really like. Some of it was a lot. The pad level was really, really high on Peter Woods, and it's something to where if you're going up against a good guard or center, then he just gets locked up and he just ends up hand fighting essentially. And I'm not really seeing a guy that can get a low enough pad level to be becoming enough of a consistent impact guy. And his actual tackles for loss numbers, the production itself was just not great by any means. I mean, athletically, the guy is solid. I mean, he's got good size, about 6'3", 310 pounds. Could stand to put on a little more muscle, I would say. And they did use him even a little bit outside on the D-end position. But this guy, to me, is a true D-tackle, 3 technique going forward in the pros. And he needs to be in a 4-3 defense for him to work at all. Now, some of the good things, I did see some great quickness and athleticism, like I said. He's a good run defender. So as long as you're not getting double-teamed, he does a pretty good job of shredding off those blocks. And I think he does have a good motor as well. So I got to give him credit for at least working towards plays, even when the play is away from him. He doesn't necessarily give up on plays. He's making plays downfield, even once the running back took a sweep out 7 yards, out to the boundary where the linebackers and corners are out there trying to get him. So I'm going to give him credit for that. But I think, honestly, this prospect kind of bothers me in a way because he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school who, to me, I don't know that he lived up to that quality of player at Clemson. I don't know that he was that destructive monster that you're just terrified of, to even go near up the middle. I saw him get beat on trap plays a lot. Basically, teams were able to work around him plenty. And if you double team him, he was locked up. he wasn't that kind of penetrator that I wanted to see out of a D tackle, especially a guy who's going to replace Chris Jones. So I don't know that Peter Woods is my guy for the Chiefs pick at number 9 if he was to fall there, which I do think he falls past 9 as a matter of fact. But I am glad I spent some time on him, and I know we did have that one commenter who was very high on him, but I can't quite get behind the Peter Woods thing, and I actually think there's another tackle in this class that's better than Peter Woods that we'll talk about a later day. But do you guys have any input on Peter Woods?
Yeah, I mean, I'm most certainly not there in terms of drafting him for the Chiefs. I think he's, like you were saying, he's a great run defender. He's got the skills to develop into a quality pass rusher. But if you're the Chiefs, I don't want somebody who can develop into that. I want somebody who's going to rush the passer right now. So as a Chiefs fan, yeah, I mean, I don't want to draft this guy. I'd much rather get more of a premium position like an edge at pick number 9.
Yeah, I could just see Peter Woods being a little bit of a project that does take some time to get accustomed to the speed of the NFL game and the strength of some of the guards and centers we see in the league. So I do think that there's a lot of work to be done. And I've seen a few comps out there that try to compare him to like either Jeffrey Simmons or Jalen Carter, which is just asinine in my opinion. I mean, the guy is nowhere near either of those players, but I have seen those comps put out there, which I think is a little bit lazy from some of the writers, but Jalen Carter was a much better prospect. I'll definitely say that's the truth.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Simmons, I don't know.
That seems kind of crazy. I would not classify those guys as Peter Woods at all.
No, to me, it's not even close.
Well, you got to remember those writers. They get paid to make certain comps like that to pump up a
Mel
player.
Kiper Jr. might be the one to do it next to make that comparison.
Well, Mel Kiper Jr. would take him top 5 in a heartbeat, I'm sure.
Yeah, he'd say he's next Warren Sapp. That's what he's going to say.
I think
Peter
Woods at 9 is probably a pass for me as well that I've seen. So 6'3", 310, right? This guy finished with 30 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks in 12 games. Right? Nothing overly impressive. He's a guy that's, is in the mix there. The biggest thing I saw in the Mike, you would hate this because it would drive you nuts. But he's the guy that basically kind of helps collapse the pocket and takes on those extra blockers, but never gets any sacks. Never gets any sacks credits, right? And you talked about that too. Like he's the guy, he's there, he's in the middle of it all, but he's not going to get what you would want, right?
He was taking up space and he was taking up double teams and stuff like that. But I did see him one-on-one a lot, still get stood straight up and then end up just standing there hand fighting and then basically playing his own version of you're the quarterback and try to bat the pass down, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, the problem stems from bad pad level and you're not penetrating. So to me, if you can't get that figured out, and especially when you're that young, then that's a problem. And Chris Jones is lucky enough. He's 6'6". He can make up for that. And that's why he's been as great as he has. Great long arms, 6'6". You can make up for that if you're Chris Jones. If you're 6'3" and you're Peter Woods, it ain't going to work out well. It's just you're not going to be worth a top 10 pick, in my opinion. That's all.
No, and like so we don't have the sack caliber, right? That we're hoping for in this guy. What about the run game? What about stuff in the run? Well, it's not there either, right? He's explosive on the first step, but it's coming off the blocks, getting off the blocks to go get those tackles for loss. There's a reason why he got 3.5 tackles for loss. Look, this Clemson team, they stunk this year. Okay, they stunk this year. So they were on defense a lot throughout the 12 games. And that's where you still got 3.5 tackles for loss.
Stamina. I watched them against Texas last year too, and Texas was ranked 5th overall in the nation, while Clemson was ranked 12. And I mean, it was bad tape. I mean, you were not looking at a guy who should be a top 10 pick at all.
Yeah, he's personally to me is a pass at 9. He's definitely not a top 10 pick in my mind. But if he was, at a normal spot down later in the draft, probably worth a stab around 30, 32, but not at 9. Not at 9.
Yeah, like I said, there's another D tackle in this class that we'll talk about a different week that I actually do like better than Peter Woods. But we'll save him, and I think you know what I'm talking about, Tanner. So
I might have him on my list, but we'll talk about it later.
All right, let me get to my next one, guys. Next one I want to talk about because I do think it's intriguing. not everyone likes the idea of going wide receiver 9th overall, but I do want to talk about Carnell Tate, just in case there is a chance he's there at 9 overall. He's expected to be possibly even a top 5 pick by some people, but I think top 10 is much more reasonable. But from Ohio State, 6'3", about 195 pounds, probably closer to 200 at this point, in my opinion, but we'll find out more at the combine. But some of the things I really liked about him, the route running to me was terrific, and a great hands catcher. I mean, the guy is one of those that goes and gets the ball rather than lets the ball come to him. And I just think the way he plays as a outside receiver, as an X receiver essentially, is fantastic. And I think he's got the strength as well against some of these cornerbacks. He ran a lot of vertical routes and was creating great separation against cornerbacks, which is crazy because some people say he's not fast enough. Some people put him in the 4.6 40-yard range, which you would say by today's standards is kind of slow. But he was still beating man coverage and getting open. And I really liked his hands. I liked the short route running as well. And great ball skills. And to me, he was a smart player too. One of those guys that just has a high football IQ and aware of himself, aware of his surroundings, and knows how to make adjustments based on what the defense has given him to. Now, I was more concerned as well about his yak ability. I don't know. I've seen enough out of his yak ability yet to say I'm overly impressed. I don't think he's going to be your guy like, let's say, Malachi Lemon, who is going to be a yak monster in the NFL potentially. I don't think he's going to be like that. I don't think he's going to be that kind. I think he's going to be one of those guys that can get open and beat the corners, but might not get you, yards after catch like you expect to see in Andy Reid's offense by design. So, yeah, some good things there for me with Carnell Tate, though. I think he's going to be a red zone threat without a doubt in the league. My comparison for him, you guys might think this is too much. I think he's like an A.J. Green style player. I think he's very similar to A.J. Green and has those kinds of ball skills. That'd be my closest comparison for what I've seen on the Carnell Tate. So do you guys have any thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling me I'm going to get A.J. Green with the 9th pick, I mean, I'm going to do that in a heartbeat. Like you were saying, I love the height, the wingspan, the reliable hands, the fact that he's a great route runner. I'm just personal preference here. I don't want to draft a wide receiver that high. I'd rather wait till a little bit later in the draft. But I mean, if you're trying to convince me that I'm going to get a stud like that, I'm not going to sit here and say that I hate the pick. I would be personally looking at other positions first.
Yeah, and I would say, hey, another Ohio State wide receiver, which we've seen a nice group of them come out and be successful in the NFL. So something about that system does translate pretty well to the league. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, Carnell Tate, look, great player. I like him a lot. I'm with you on the yak part. I know he's not a yak guy. He's not a yak guy. He wasn't last year. And he was that guy that just kind of got open and would go down. Like we saw it last year versus Notre Dame in the title game, right? He's not been a guy. The nice part about Carnell Tate, though, coming out of Ohio State, is he's used to being in a wide receiver room full of other receivers and knows how to get his targets, his receptions, what he needs to do.
They're great receivers.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, they got some good ones at Ohio State both years that I've seen him at last year and this year. So he's used to deep receiver rooms, and he still finished with 860 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 52 receptions, despite being sometimes the third guy on this roster for Ohio State. So he has the ability to make himself known, to be known into that play, but he also has the patience to take care to get where he needs to be here. So at 9, I don't hate it. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad by all. Do I think he's there at 9? No, I don't. I really don't. But would I take him? I wouldn't mind him. If he's actually there, I wouldn't mind him at all.
I try to think about how he would fit in the Chiefs offense, and I do think like a combo of him, Rashee Rice, and Worthy together, and maybe whoever else. Like I think that could be a really good group if you put a guy like that in there. So I just try to think of it that way. And
yeah, he's a high catch radius too. He's a high catch guy. He loves those high passes. That's where he
Right.
excels at.
Yeah, and like I said,
So-
I saw him get a lot of great separation. So I know the 40 time is going to be interesting if he runs the 40 at the combine. I don't know that he will, but if he does, I'll be really curious where he ends up at. And if he runs in the 4.5s, so be it. I mean, I think even AJ Green was a guy in the 4.4s or high 4.4s, maybe something like that. But
Well, it's
I think
acceleration is really what you need for separation, right? Speed's one thing,
No.
but to have that
a lot of
acceleration,
it's about setting up your route. A lot of it's about setting up your route and footwork. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where your separation begins.
true too.
That's typically how it goes. Unless you're just like a 4.2 flat guy that can just outrun everybody, but that's pretty rare when you talk about the NFL. So
Right.
I got one more, guys. So this one is going to be a little bit later in the draft, probably a day 2 pick. But me and a buddy who talked about this guy a week or so ago, and I spent a good amount of time on him. But Ted Hurst from Georgia State, wide receiver, another guy who's about 6'3", around 200 pounds. We'll see what the combine shows. And so one of the things I like about him too, another great contested catch player that I will say I did not see get a lot of separation compared to like a Carnell Tate, but still he's able to high point the ball really, really well. Played with a pretty poor quarterback, and the school itself, Georgia State, Tanner, probably one of your favorite schools to bet on since you love those little schools.
That's right up my alley, man. Yeah.
That's part of why this guy's going to go probably day 2 is just not enough tape against top quality competition. He was actually a 0-star high school recruit, so came in and really had to work his way up to this point. Now, some of the things I did like about him, especially, is that footwork and release off the beginning of the snap. Just quick feet and great at just setting up those first 5 yards of a route, which I think is great for slants, great for those quick outs. It's going to fit really, really well with the Chiefs offense and stuff like that. So he's going to be a pure outside receiver, which I still think we need because I'd love to see Rashee Rice be a slot receiver primarily in this team. So I think we need to have a guy that can play outside full time, basically. He did play at the Senior Bowl. I think it was finally nice to see him play against some better quality competition to the cornerbacks. Senior Bowl was not exactly exciting by any means this year, but I thought he did decent against some of the top corners coming up in the draft. So, one of the things about him that I really didn't care for as much, I do feel like he can get jammed at the line right now, which I think is teachable. Chiefs did add Chad O'Shea to the receiving group as coach, which I think can really help a guy like this. You can learn how to beat press, and he's going to get a lot of press in the NFL to begin, and I think he can get that figured out. And then there was a few drops. He actually had a drop in practice at the Senior Bowl that was kind of ugly. He's just one of those guys you can trust in the red zone. You can trust to get open on quick routes. Doesn't have the best separation, but contested catches are as good as they come. So definitely a weapon in some regards, but do you guys have any input on Ted Hurst or your thoughts on how he could fit in with the Chiefs offense?
Yeah, I mean, we were watching a little bit of tape of him earlier, man, and I thought I was watching Randy Moss, dude. Like with the height and the wingspan, those long arms, dude. And you just never know with a guy like that coming out of these small schools. Doesn't happen very often where you have like a superstar. But you did have Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens back in the day, so might be a minuscule chance, but I don't mind punching that lottery ticket. I'd probably take a shot on him.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 2-3 round guy, right? Like it's kind of where he's projected right now. So far,
probably in that George Pickens range. We love to pass on.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. For him against Georgia State, he was a primary guy for Georgia State. He was the receiving ranks for Georgia State, which is awesome to have. I like this pick a lot because he is the primary guy. Yeah, that's right. 1050, 9 touchdowns, more than any other guy we've talked about so far, aka Carnell Tate. 68 receptions. Like he was targeted. This was your and he's not being thrown by a 5-star quarterback, 4-star quarterback by any means. Like this is Georgia State, and they're pretty average team last year for sure. But I love, like Jason said, it's the being vertical, the length that he has. But then again, Mike, you talked about the drops. And I'm sure if we dug in deeper, we'd probably see more of those clear drops with him. But if you're looking for a guy on the outside to force Rashee Rice back inside, to force Worthy into a different situation as well, maybe on the outside of speed or whatever you want to do, he's a guy I would not mind taking a stab at. He's also a big deep pass receiver. So going long, he may not separate, but he'll compete up there. If you toss it up, AKA Tyreek's down there somewhere. This guy would be down there somewhere. So he can definitely go up and go for a ball. Yeah, so there's some concerns, but yeah.
I liked about him too, because we mentioned how Carnell Tate wasn't as much of a yak guy that you would hope to be. Or I actually found that Ted Hurst is actually a really good yak guy who does fight for every damn yard. He's a guy that you get him that ball, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, he's going to try to fight through every arm tackle you throw at him. And to me, that's one of those big impact things on this team in particular, is that we need to have guys that can have yak. And I saw that a lot from Hurst on tape. Was just, you get him a short pass on the slant and he's going to fight through it. And there was that one play on a corner route, 10 yards from the end zone, fought through 2 tacklers and just kind of carried him on his back into the end zone. That was an amazing
his
play.
His frame's really strong. Like he's really solidified. Like he can break some of those tackles. So you're right on the outside.
Some of those drops too that we saw, a lot of it could have also been just ball placement that wasn't great, or ball wasn't put in an excellent position of where it could have been by the quarterback that he had to adjust to in an awkward way. And those red zone plays, they don't call them 50-50 balls for no reason. I mean, it's one of those things you trust a guy like that to make it about half the time, but that's also a low success type of a play as well. That's why the Chiefs don't run it very often.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
So anyways, those are my 3 guys I want to talk about today. In a couple of weeks when you come back, I'll have another 3 at least for you. And we'll dive into some more guys that could either be taken by the Chiefs at pick number 9 overall, or maybe in the mid-range or even late in the draft as well, in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. Guys that I'm keeping my eye on right now.
Sounds good. I like it. I like those 3. Those are good 3. Good 3 to start with.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, what's new in the basketball world? Anything?
Well, we haven't talked about it in like 6 months. Feels like haven't talked.
Yeah,
about
man.
It.
I don't remember. KU's out here beating a bunch of top 10 teams. Number 1.
Yeah,
taking down.
Tanner is obviously going to chime in on this, but the trade deadline that we just had was extremely uneventful and boring, in fact, because they all got our hopes up, dude, that, Giannis, he's going to go. He was never what happened, dude? What happened? The same thing that always happens with Giannis. He ain't going nowhere. And then basically all the other trades that happened were just like so incredibly boring that it was just a huge letdown. But there was one guy that I did want to talk about with you, Tanner and Mike, and that is James Harden to the Cavs. And I want to know if you guys would think that he might move the needle. I personally don't think he's going to move the needle. I think that if they could have figured out a way to maybe keep Darius Garland, and maybe you could have offloaded Jarrett Allen instead, you would have had an extra playmaker. But as it stands right now, they swapped one playmaker for another playmaker. And so that's what I was hoping they would do, is keep Darius Garland and still trade for James Harden. But what do you know, man? You've got Jimmy Larden. He's on his 12th NBA team. So it's always exciting, man. It's always a circus show wherever he goes.
Now, what does he bring to that team, though? Like, who does he bring to the Cavs? Because the Cavs have been a great defensive team, right? Last few years.
Yeah, he's not bringing any defense.
That's what I mean. So what's the point? I mean, he's just there to help offense.
You're bringing is you're bringing an older guy who is not going to help you that much in crunch time in the playoffs, but he's going to score a lot of points. He's going to make it. He's going to make it exciting. He's improved a lot over the years with his assists. So he's still an elite playmaker, but he's only going to get you, maybe 20 points a game average, which is what you just let go of with Darius Garland. Although Darius Garland is a much younger player. And so you basically just mortgaged your future for a nice, flashy player who's going to score a lot of points, give you a lot of assists, but he's not going to come through in crunch time in the playoffs. And so, what does that mean? I mean, you got the Pistons, Celtics, and the Knicks are ahead of them. Does that really move the needle? Yeah, that might get you to the 2 seed, might even get you to the 1 seed. But I don't really care about that. What I care about is what are you going to do for me if you make a deep playoff run? And that's basically what James Harden does, is he's going to fold. That's who he is historically. He's going to get you really, really excited. He's going to put up a lot of points. But when he gets into the second round, maybe even the Eastern Conference Finals, I will throw out this wild card, though. He is going to be the second guy. He's going to be the number 2, possibly even the number 3 option behind Evan Mobley. So you've still got Donovan Mitchell over there. As long as he's willing to let Donovan Mitchell be the number 1 and maybe even Evan Mobley the number 2, that's really the only thing. That's the only way they could make a deep playoff run. But they're not going to win anything. Let's not kid ourselves. They're not going to win a championship. They're not even going to win the East. That's just not going to happen. There's those other teams ahead of them just have way too many horses. And again, I would have flipped Jarrett Allen and maybe given him away some more draft capital or what have you. But I would have kept Darius Garland no matter what.
So I was going to bring up what Scott here said to your response. He said the main thing Harden does is handle the ball and be a great facilitator and take the pressure off of Mitchell for the first 3 quarters of games. Does that sound fair enough?
Yeah, that's fine. That's great, man. And I just it doesn't move the needle for me compared to what you had. I mean, at this stage of his career, he is a better playmaker than Darius Garland. So that's what you're going to get. And again, he's going to be an exciting player for the Cavs. But the whole idea when you're making these trades is this should get you closer to a championship. And that really doesn't do it for me. It's kind of the same thing as what Golden State did. That was a horrible trade. I mean, bringing in Kristaps Porzingis, who doesn't even see the floor. And that was a big head scratcher for me. I don't even want to talk about it because that trade was a joke. But anyway, I'll put it up to you guys. Tanner, what are your thoughts on Jimmy Larden this time around?
I agree with you from, you're not winning a championship. You're probably not going deep in the playoffs. But what he does bring versus Garland is the potential of some consistent scoring most times, but his facilitating is way better than Garland, in my opinion. This guy can put up assists like no other, right? He's a little bigger size, I believe, too. And I don't hate it. I'm interested. I'm intrigued to see how this trade develops for Cleveland. Do I think it's the right move? No, not at all. I don't. I expected a better trade option there, but with Clippers selling, like, it is what it is, I guess, at this point. If you're trying to go and buy somebody, like, get what you can get. But from a Harden standpoint, this guy ain't winning you no chip. He ain't winning you no chip. I don't care if you are one going into it, which you won't be. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. See, that's the guy that Scott just dropped. That was the guy they should have gone out and got. Instead, they went and got some Harden.
Yeah. So was it Triple J? Is that who he thinks that they should have got? Yeah,
he said it was. He just says it was really good for the Jazz future.
That guy doesn't really move the needle for me anyway. And he did get traded, and nobody even really cared about it. So, the thing you got to remember about Darius Garland too is, like, dude, he's young. He's already averaging 6 to 7 assists per game. So it's like he was only going to get better, and you just basically mortgaged your future. And for what?
He wasn't scoring the points. Like, he scored he would get
he was averaging 20 a game last year. He averaged 20 a game last year, and he's super young, dude.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like I said, I'm intrigued to see how this actually pays off for Cleveland in the end. I don't hate it. I get it. Big name, guess sell tickets. Clippers for selling. Same time, I don't think you really helped your team on winning the chip this year. So
Interesting. Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
I
happy
don't-
my Suns are still not terrible this year. They've actually done okay. But last year they were horrible. They got a new coach, and
I mean, yeah,
Next thing-
Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey came in, right? Yeah, you guys made that trade for that
Yeah.
there. So
they're losing right now, but they've done okay lately, so I'll take it.
they haven't
still
been
need-
awful.
They still need to trade
Dude,
away
we're-
Booker, man.
We're above 500 right now. We're
I know.
we're doing pretty good. Like I've seen it worse than this. We're 32-22 is the Suns' record at the moment, which is amazing for the Suns.
Trade away
Pretty good.
Booker and start over, man.
Well,
I've been calling for that
I
for a
agree
while.
that Booker should go somewhere where he can have more success. I do agree with that. But if you do that, man, the Suns just blow it up. All
But
the
you'd
way.
get a lot of first round picks for him, man.
Well, they got to do it soon. Booker's in his 30s now, so
He's the 30 already.
I believe so. I think he's 30.
Wow.
Yeah, so they got to do it soon if they're going to ever
You
trade
could
him.
you could still get like at least 5 or 6 first rounders at least.
Yeah, because he's still going to play a high level in the maybe mid, even probably late 30s. So
Yeah.
he has a lot of years left, really.
Well, CP3 ruined his career. That's all I know. Among other people and coaches and what
Well,
have you.
CP3 is the GOAT of choking in big games. So he found a way to do that with the Suns. That's for damn sure. So
Jason, I want to know because I heard it earlier on the radio when I was on my way to work, and it made me think about it. Hold on, Scott. What I want to know is, do you think the NBA this year specifically, it's ruined? Like it's not watchable this year with all the tanking that's going on. Like already, we're in the middle of February and everybody's tanking already. Nets aren't playing players half the time. The Jazz sat out all 5 of their starters plus the 6th man the entire fourth quarter. Didn't call one timeout. Was down by 3. Didn't call a timeout. Didn't sub back in the starters. Lost on purpose. And when Hardy got asked, he was like, "Yep, nope, wasn't even a thought." Like we got an NBA problem, but is it a Silver problem or is it an NBA problem in general?
They've been tanking for decades, man. I mean, the
But
Philadelphia,
it's really bad right now.
Philadelphia 76ers,
Really bad.
they started that mess a long time ago. And if you're a true NBA fan, I mean, you don't really care about the tanking. I mean, honestly, like Utah getting Triple J, I mean, that actually works for them because
they won't play him.
They're tanking anyway, but they're trying to build a roster for the future. But no, I don't. I don't care about the tanking, man. Like everybody, this is not like a new topic. We complain about this, or I don't complain about it, but people complain about it every stinking year, man. And if you're a true NBA fan or NFL fan for that matter, I mean, you have to go through the lottery. So I mean, you're not. It's not like you're guaranteed to get a transformational player. You know, you still got to win the lottery, and you still have to get lucky, man. So you can you could be tanking for nothing. So I've never had a problem with it. Never had a problem with it in the NBA. In fact, I always wanted the NFL to switch to the lottery format, because when you're tanking in the NFL, that pisses me off a lot more than it does in the NBA, because you could be tanking in the NBA for nothing, but if you tank in the NFL, you're guaranteed you're going to get one of those premium picks no matter what. In the NBA, you're not guaranteed a premium pick.
So one of the big reasons why they're tanking is because they have a top 8 protected draft pick in this upcoming draft. So they have to finish below that to be able to get that pick. So I think that's why they're tanking already in February freaking 11th, for God's sakes. This thing goes till April. Like,
I mean, the trade
there's
deadline.
something wrong.
The trade deadline just came and went, man. So you got to make a decision before the trade deadline based on all your injuries that you've got going on. I mean, I think people make too big of a deal about this tanking situation.
Jazz are at 29. Jesus. That's
I mean,
insane.
if you suck, if you're a bad team, try to get worse.
No.
Because that's the only way you can make it better.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to me, man. It's ridiculous.
Before
all these rules too, protected players are protected draft picks. They just need to blow it up and restart because it's too many people's money's getting wasted going to these games. Too many people.
Yeah, well, that's been happening forever with the NBA now, Tanner. That's nothing new.
Well, it's even worse. I think it's even worse now, man.
Yeah, I'm proud. It's the way that they put it together. It's designed that way.
Yep.
So Scott did have a question. I know that Jason said before the show he wasn't going to do this, so you don't have to answer this because he did say before the show.
Tanner's allowed to answer.
Tanner can answer this. So Scott says, "What are your opinions of the Lakers and could they miss the play-in?" So that's the question. You don't have to answer.
I don't mind answering that. You go first, Tanner.
I really don't have a true opinion of the Lakers right now. Obviously, they made some questionable moves this offseason that has not helped them as they were hoping for. DeAndre. But yeah, there's a lot of questionable stuff going on Lakers. They very well could miss the play-in. I doubt they do. I think they figure it out here soon because we saw it last year. They started being revived shortly after Luka got traded to them. So I think they'll be okay from a play-in standpoint, but I just don't have an opinion with them right now. I really don't. I think they are just what they are right now. So
did he say they're going to miss the play-in?
He was just asking.
No, they're not going to miss the play-in.
If they could miss the play-in.
That's impossible unless Luka has to go down for them to miss the play-in. They'll be in the play-in no matter what. And I don't care. I mean, they could miss the play. I don't care one way or the other about the Lakers, man. But I mean, the bottom line is you've already proven you can't beat the Timberwolves in the playoffs. You've already proven you can't beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. And who's beyond that? Rockets? No, you're not beating the Rockets. And you got the Thunder and the Spurs. So I guess if all of those teams that I just said, all of their starting lineups get injured, then maybe you'd have a chance to make a run in the playoffs. But I mean, the play-in, man. I mean, the play-in, it is fun to watch. I mean, I would love to see, LeBron, I actually want to see LeBron in the play-in and get crushed. That would be my vote. I would love to see him get crushed in the play-in. So the worst thing, I don't want to see him miss the play-in, although that would be embarrassing. I'd rather see him get crushed.
Yeah, at age 41.
I want to see Phoenix. No, Phoenix Suns would be the perfect team. If that was the matchup, I would love to see Devin Booker just go in there and crush those guys. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, we want to see an age 41, season 21.
You'll give the Suns
LeBron James get crushed.
Give them some confidence points for the Suns.
Hey, man, at least Michael Jordan could put up 50 at age 40. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm glad he took a couple years in between
to do that. I mean, he'd probably
try. I'm glad he took a couple years off in between, his season. So that way he didn't play continually all the way through.
Still 40 years old, man. He could put up a 50 burger.
Yeah. Well, if I had 2 seasons off too, I'd put up a 50 burger, I'm sure. So, yeah, I'm not.
LeBron's had a lot of games off from, what do we call it these days? Load management?
Yeah, but not Jordan's length. What are you talking about?
Jordan's length. Who the hell brought that up?
He did.
Tanner's bringing up some ridiculous crap right now.
Yeah, we're not having that debate right now, Tanner.
No, it's been a couple years. I think we're about due. I think we're due for another debate.
We can do it.
And then we need to revise the Kelsey versus Gonzalez debate. But you guys got to stick with your original pick.
We
don't need to revise the debate.
Maybe we'll do it just at the tail end of the draft show when Todd comes on. We could just
that's a good idea.
We'll revisit the LeBron Jordan debate.
Todd.
We'll have LeBron Jordan debate.
We'll do the draft.
We need somebody that's going to be opposing for to you guys, like somebody that's going to have a different.
Well, Todd, at least Todd likes LeBron more than me.
Okay.
I'll put him that way. All three of us, we love LeBron, but there's different levels to this thing. And Todd actually likes LeBron more than I do. A little bit more.
All right. Well, maybe he could help fight for LeBron a little bit because you guys could have a threesome, and then Tanner can be the LeBron guy.
Yeah, just do it. We'll do it at the draft show. We'll just do the last 5 minutes.
Because your topic's going to be who's better, and that's not the topic to discuss. It has to be specific in detail that we talk about.
I can be the question guy because I don't want to get in the debate, but I can ask questions.
Well, you got. Come on, man. You got answers.
What do I got to get in the debate? I don't want to talk about that again.
Well, it would go longer than 5 minutes, and then we'd have a 3-hour show because we'd talk about the draft, and then he wouldn't shut up until we talked about LeBron for at least 25 minutes.
I would have like 8 questions for you guys. So it'd be, we got to really debate this thing. But yeah, so Tanner's gonna have to be the one to fight for LeBron, I think.
Situations.
Hey, I can't remember which podcast it was, but the Stephen A. and Skip Bayless went at it on LeBron James. It wasn't really a LeBron versus Jordan, but it was just they kind of went at it like old times.
Well, we gotta have us all in person for that debate. I feel like I think we got to figure out how to rearrange this table so Tanner and Todd can both fit over.
Yeah, we could have like a food fight situation where if you get pissed, then you just
I'll put pretzels.
Start slinging
I'll
food.
put pretzels on the table. You guys can fight and throw food.
Yeah, I'll have to wear goggles so that nobody like
just get those tiny marshmallows.
Was there a big fight yesterday in the NBA or something? I read something, but I don't know what happened. You guys know anything about
there was Pistons, Hawks. I think it was.
Somebody get suspended or whatever. Or what?
That's all you got
coming off the bench. That's all I know. That's all I got to say.
Man, I thought it was gonna be like Ron Artest again. Man,
well, I mean, I do care about the Pistons, but once you throw the Hawks in there, just kind of like, okay, let's move on.
You just don't care.
Just the butthurt guys.
They don't even have
coming off
the
bench
anymore. I mean, that's that bad.
It'd be like watching the Titans and Raiders fight. You just don't even care what's going on.
Yeah. Well, it's hilarious. So Stewart comes off the bench to go defend his teammate. And he gets suspended. I think 20 games or something like that. It's something stupid he got suspended for. And the guy that started it, instigated it, only got like 9 and a fine. Meanwhile, Stewart coming out Stewart, like, he was the one that was like, I think he goes, "What's the point of me being on the bench in Detroit when there's a fight going on? That's why you brought me to Detroit." I mean, it's a fair point. You bring him to Detroit, he's gonna be there out there scrapping, just like Detroit always is.
Hey man, we're over 2 decades removed from the Malice in the Palace, so somebody's probably about ready to start that whole thing again.
That's what I mean. Like,
not necessarily the Pistons, but 2 other random teams.
I mean, if Russell Westbrook hasn't punched a fan yet, like I don't think we're going to see it for a little bit.
Hey, I can't remember, but if that was in 2004, they actually won the championship that year. I know it was in that range. But
I don't think it was.
Malice in the Palace was in 2004. They actually won the championship after all that. So that could be one way to motivate a championship team is just.
Oh, it was 2004,
man.
Yeah, you're right.
It was 2004. And then go into the bleachers and start punching fans like that. That might be a good motivating factor to win a championship.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Well, guys, so we've just got a couple minutes left, so. I just wanted to say that pitchers and catchers report. I think this week. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Tanner should know the exact dates. I think he's got it.
Why do I got to know the exact dates? I've been working, man.
Or something, Tanner.
I haven't even like throw in basketball bets for Save My Life or worth anything.
Well, no, but the reason I even bring that up is because like this year we're going to talk about the Royals a lot more than we have previously in other years. I mean, typically we spend a few minutes on the Royals, but I think this year we have to spend more than that because.
I don't know. I'll probably have just minimal sayings. I don't like commenting on teams like that have people I know.
All right. Well, we'll do our best to take care of business with it then, because I don't know anybody that works for the team or anything. So.
No.
All right. So I had to look it up. The Malice in the Palace was that very next season after they won the championship.
Okay, so it's November 16th, 2004.
They did go back to the finals, and they took it. It was a 7-game series. So it didn't the brawl didn't actually ruin their season. It actually helped them because they got back to the finals.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But I'm not a proponent of fighting. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah, you're the. What was it? We did a topic on one thing, and it was baseball, and you wanted to see the brawls at the home plate or something like that. You wanted
I
to see
want
the
to
fight.
baseball and hockey.
Baseball needs to turn into WWE.
I think
you should be able to do all kinds of shit in baseball.
They need to allow. Better. We need more fighting in hockey, and we need to treat baseball more like it's just hockey and just let it fly, man.
Yeah, like if a pitcher and the guy at the plate have a problem, just let them fight in the diamond right there, and don't even break it up. Let them go at it for 5 minutes.
And I still want to see fines. I still want to see them get fined, but I want the suspensions to be like, just suspend them for like 2 games and be done with it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think it would help the sport, honestly.
It would easily.
Good idea.
That's not going to happen in today's society.
Nah, probably.
That's what we have UFC for. If you want to see fights, you should watch the UFC.
You're going to have elbow pads. You're going to have elbow pads, like actual cushioned elbow pads, before you see fighting like that. In today's
it would just
society.
make the games more interesting, man.
Yeah, Carrington Harrison was talking on 96.5 today, and he thought it'd be interesting if basketball NBA would actually do a all black versus all white team.
Oh my
and he thinks that would be a great idea. He says he wants to see a game with an all black versus all white, and he's encouraging this. By the way,
that's because the NBA is doing the NBA is doing like Team America versus the world this year.
That's legit.
Right?
That's legit.
I know. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
No, but they need to do it for the All-Star game, and I don't think
that's what they're doing.
Do it for the All-Star game. Are they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing Team America versus the world.
I didn't think that was confirmed.
I'm pretty sure that's. I think I saw the jerseys already. Or something.
That could get ugly. That could get ugly because LeBron and Steph are way too old, and I think the Team World would win.
They're trying to replicate, and they're not going to get what they want. They're trying to replicate what the NHL did last year for their All-Star break, where they split it into 4 different countries. And it was fantastic. It was the best All-Star thing that we've seen, or kind of games that we've seen.
No, I don't want that. I don't want 4 different countries. I want Team World versus the United States.
No. I'm just telling you
where it's with the United States, dude.
Correct. I'm telling you where it's stemming from. Is from that, and it was such a great NHL All-Star games that we saw. Especially Team USA versus Team Canada was unreal. This year they're going, and I'm pretty sure it's sticking this way right now. They're doing Team America versus the world to try to replicate that kind of competitiveness. I still don't think you're going to get the buy-in from the players for what we want to see. Like NHL, that All-Star break, they were like, there was one guy that got hurt from Florida to Chuck, and he was out almost the entire rest of the year.
I just don't think
they played so hard.
I don't think the NBA wants to throw old man Kawhi Leonard and old man James Harden and old man Steph and LeBron, and then the Team World just mops the floor with them, dude. I don't think the NBA wants that because that's what would happen probably.
That's the problem with the NBA because they don't want to. They want to do stuff different, but they don't want to show. They don't want effort. Essentially,
the American players, the superstars just need to get younger because these old guys they're not going to cut it.
I don't know. It's a wreck. NBA is a wreck. I don't think they're going to get what they want out of it. So,
all right, guys. Well, anything fun planned coming up this week? Now that it's for me, it's kind of a dead time of year for sports. So there's no sports really being to worry about. I guess.
Yeah, you're crazy, dude.
We got V-Day, but
Well, I don't have anything planned, but somebody was telling me something interesting. I knew that dry January was a thing, but I've never heard of wet Feb.
Yeah, wet Feb.
I thought that was very interesting. Well, I'm not going to partake in that, obviously, but
okay.
That's I didn't know that was a thing, man. Have you ever heard of that, Tanner? Wet Feb?
Yeah, I have.
Well, basically you go straight from dry January,
right?
From then you have a wet Feb. afterwards.
So you basically you accomplish something great, and then you erase the entire thing.
Or it could be
make it
two
completely worthless.
great accomplishments back to back, depending on how you want to view it. Either way, it's goals, and you're trying to hit goals.
But you've erased all the progress on your body, though. Like you just did it all for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. that would be true. That would be true. That is the drawback of wet Feb.
Yeah.
Which I wonder what the spike is in alcohol sales in February after January. I need to look that up one day. I need to actually look that up and see what the spike is.
I promise you in the Midwest, it's high. Maybe not on the coastal regions.
Sure.
But in the Midwest where it's cold every day, I mean, these people need to find something else to do.
I just feel like there's a big spike from January to February with alcohol sales. And I'm curious. I got to look in that number at this point. And then I wonder like if it tapers off in March or people just keep getting drunk.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've just when I first heard the term wet Feb, it almost sounded offensive to me. Like it was like some sort of I don't know. It just didn't sound right to me.
Well, just if you're ever going to do a dry January, don't have a wet Feb with it.
I was offended actually when I heard that.
Well,
so I did look up.
What?
I did look up January from last year and February from last year sales for alcohol and rebound. So yes, February has a big recovery in the sales rebound. January is weak in sales every year. Spirits were down 0.3% of the year on volume, and then February recovers. Increases. Saw an 18% increase in total alcohol volume compared to January 2024. So
yeah, and I'm telling you, dude, like, because people give up on their goals, and that's why these people that sign up for the fitness center in January, then none of them, half of them don't even show up in February, and they just give up on their goals.
Jason, this one's for you, man. Wine sales specifically saw a 28% increase in volume in February compared to the previous month.
Hey, man, I don't mind having a glass of wine here and there. It's not gonna hurt you.
I think like 1 or 2 weeks not gonna hurt you. You know.
In Northern Europe, they believe that it actually can help your longevity because they have a glass before they go to bed every night. It's red. It's got to be red wine, though.
Yeah, it's going to be red wine, Tanner. I love the analysis behind that, too. They must have really done some studying on that longevity.
That's you know, they can't prove anything, but it's a correlation between their higher lifespan in Northern Europe and the glass of wine before they go to bed.
People used to say that beer is good after a workout. You know, that used to be a thing people would say, but it was also a good way for an excuse to have a drink. So, you know, people can justify their actions in many different ways. You know, they will do it. People
remedies
have endless ability to justify their reasons to drink alcohol. That is for damn sure.
All I know is we're putting a camera in his room next time because I'm not convinced that he didn't go double fisted with that pizza.
Oh, on the pizza?
Yeah.
You guys can believe what you want.
I heard he was extremely hungry.
When I walked in the room, the lights were dark. He was sitting there on the couch. The box was on his lap.
What are you talking about?
Confirm or denied there was not a hole in that box. And
what are you
double the pizza while the box stayed right on his lap and not moving.
And then you fell asleep, bro. That was unbelievable. Like, who does that?
Papa John's does it. Papa John's.
Yeah. If you really want to get into it, we can talk about it. So
we might be running short on time.
Oh yeah, we gotta get out of here. So, anyways, guys, looking forward to the next show. We'll be back. We're back.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta finally get done. Recap our easy money picks for the year, real quick here. We did have Super Bowl picks going into past weekend. So, real quick here for easy money bets. JG won his Wizards plus 2.5. Mike, you won your Cup.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Cup over 32.5 receiving yards. You hit that. You had Seattle minus 4.5. They hit that. So you won 2 as well.
I didn't have the under.
No, not an easy money bet.
So that's funny because I thought I had the under. So I could have had 3 in a row on that then.
You could have. I had Kenneth Walker over 103.5 rushing plus receiving yards. That hit. I had Hunter Henry over 38.5 receiving yards. That did not hit. He had 31 instead of 39. So He did drop one pass for sure. I think it was 2 passes total. I could have probably gotten him there. But regardless, the Buffoons finished Super Bowl Sunday 4-1. They come into play. So your final totals for easy money bets. I don't know. I guess we'll do it by win percentage. So in last place at 14-21, Mike Settle at 40%.
Oh, that's not bad. You could still win with the D. Allen Bear.
I don't know about
system.
that one.
In second place here, 21-30 with a 41% win percentage is myself. And then Jason finished his season out at 50%, 11-11.
So if you combine all three, the D. Allen Bear would easily show you a profit.
Your Sports Buffoons total is 46, 62, and a 43 win percentage.
Yeah, well,
43. Okay.
I don't know what that record is compared to the previous 4 or 5 years, but
I don't know.
I hope we can.
Last year, I think
I actually got it here, guys.
I think last year was equally as bad
as a group.
Yeah.
No, Sports Buffoons bets, like we were 50% last year.
As a group. And that's with me tanking.
Right,
that was with me tanking, dude.
So as a group, we were better last year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this year was pretty bad. It was pretty rough for the most part for us. So.
Yeah, bottom line is especially if you go long term, the D. Allen Bear is going to work if you just stick with our easy money picks that we do.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll get back to the drawing board and come back with some new prospects in a couple of weeks that we'll talk about, and hopefully some new news in sports. I know we got the Olympics going on, so maybe we can spend some time watching that and see what the heck happens, So, all right, guys. Well,
probably not, Mike. Probably not.
You're not gonna watch the Olympics?
I will sometimes during the workday when it's on the TV, but there's college basketball and there's other stuff on that I'd rather watch.
I do like me some curling. I love to watch curling, but outside
did you see that? I did see USA finish second place in curling yesterday.
Yeah. No, I was just getting ready to say, I will watch that particular sport, but outside of that, it's got to be Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
There were some uniforms I saw this week when I got a chance to look up. There was some Blades of Glory for sure going on.
All right. You guys enjoy your men in tights. But, all right, guys. Well, in that case, I will see you all on the next one.
Outro.
See you guys.